Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B. And joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk from Jacket Close Team. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Hey, what's up?
We need to figure out, are we gonna podcast next week? Because it'll be the day before Thanksgiving.
I don't think so.
Be in the midst of traveling. Nobody else will be listening to us. They'll be traveling too.
Who's gonna listen to this podcast on Thanksgiving?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. I don't see anybody. There's nobody in my field of vision raising that hand. It's literally zero.
All right, it's unanimous. We're not gonna podcast next week.
Unanimous. Yep. So,
Okay.
Which is normal. Going into the holidays, especially next month, there'll be a cutoff where that's it. That'll be the last stream of the year for everything. Like for Jack Club's painting on Twitch, or Rob on Twitch for Spiky Biz TV, and for Next Level Painting. That's all coming up. It's an exciting time of the year. A lot of exciting things happening. End of year promotions, Black Friday sales, Christmas sales. It's gonna
I'll cover a lot of it.
It's gonna be a hype. And don't you do your ceremonial Black Friday post every year of like all the hot deals from all the hot companies?
Yeah, I've been building it up. We've got a bunch of emails back from folks. Some retailers have already actually started because the way the weeks are stacked. Like Miniature Market's already doing up to 90% off some stuff. They have like 1,800 items.
Okay.
I think Elric's Hobbies announced their sales going to be...
You just broke Wyatt. He's literally on their website right now.
Yeah, he's like clicking buttons right now. Elric's Hobbies is doing I think 20% off and half price shipping overseas. So to try to hook up some of those folks that can't normally bear the cost of getting some of their sweet bases. Those are the big ones right off hand that I can talk about. I think there's going to be a couple of buy one get ones.
I mean, just wait for the post. It's an annual post. Yeah. It's important. I use it to figure out my deals every year. Be on Spiky Bits, obviously. Spiky Bits Blogspot.
Are you doing /tilde?
Yep.
Are you doing a discount? You should have your cats call my cats.
There will be a Black Friday exclusive design in hereticswag.com.
Exclusive?
It'll be until the new year. Okay. We won't be able to get it again. It'll be retired. So that'll be our sale. But I am going to announce this weekend during Pone City, which is our Saturday show on Twitch. Next week, we'll be running a Black Friday promotion on our Twitch show all week. So there'll be some hype. But I don't want to talk about it now just because I don't want to spoil it.
Spoiler alert. Yep.
But something is happening. Something is happening.
Well, I will.
If for anybody who still watches my content on YouTube, sorry, there will be nothing special.
When? Next week or this week?
Ever.
Ever?
To the end of time.
That's not true.
I put one. So I do a studio tutorial. Obviously, we started with it. It's never changed. We do one studio tutorial every week. Sometimes we miss it because we go to tournaments, like we went to SoCal Open, this and that.
Yeah, but sometimes you do a underground battle report and stuff too.
Sometimes instead of a painting video, it's a guerrilla battle report. I've been doing more painting than I want to get more guerrilla battle reports for sure. But that's been the scene. We do 3 Twitch shows a week. We do the Long War podcast every week. I mean, at the end of the week, I mean, combined here, you're talking like what, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 15 Twitch streams a week. Some shit. I mean, that's where most of the content's going, guys.
Yeah. Well, getting that live interaction is always clutch.
Yeah. And also, I don't have to spend 6 hours making a 9-minute video.
Yeah, it's crazy how all that boils down. Like, it just blows my mind.
Spend 6 hours making a 9-minute video that I make $6 on.
Yep.
I'm kind of tired of it, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I like the exposure, the promotion, and I do like making concise studio videos. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's you kind of have to. It's just evergreen. I mean,
at the end of the day, my electricity bill ain't gonna pay itself, and YouTube's not gonna pay itself.
Well, YouTube ain't gonna. YouTube, don't even get me started. But I learn stuff all the time. Like, because I do the final edits on most of the posts on the site, and one of Wyatt's videos today, painting Centurion. I was like, fluorescent red. What is that? Is that a real paint? I gotta go find this. And I went. And
I've had the same bottle of fluorescent red for almost a decade.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I've never run out.
I was like, oh, that shit's tight for eyes. Hell yeah, I gotta get me some. So like, I learn shit all the time. Just editing. I learn about board games, editing the board game posts. I got all sorts of terms like worker replacement. I know I'm saying it wrong. I'm doing it on purpose. Yeah. And like all this stuff. So
since I joined Twitch 3 years ago, I've gotten leaps and bounds better at painting just from observing other people's content. It's the real deal.
Oh yeah.
Field, But let's get the show started, because we are talking a lot about things that are visual based on an audio podcast. So going into audio, turn it over to Wyatt for what he assures us is not going to be a shitty Would You Rather.
Man, you guys are so negative. All right.
No pressure. It's fine.
Would you rather your daily attire all day, every day be head to toe, furry fetish suit, or all day, every day, head to toe, bondage gimp suit? This is not like you if you leave the house, like you're wearing it, you're traveling on an airplane, you're wearing it, like you stream it on Twitch, you're wearing it.
Okay.
And if somebody asks you, you have to be in character.
I can't be seen. I'm not visible. I'm not allowed to be seen by another human unless I'm presenting in that gear.
Yes.
Is that how the wording is? Even like my loved ones at home?
If you wear clothes, then yes.
Okay. Can I leave the house? Am I sometimes allowed to leave the house naked?
No.
Okay, so no matter what, when I
mean, that's indecent exposure. That's
no, I'm not talking about like legally. I'm talking about genie rules.
I mean, no, in this case, so I'm protecting you from getting a misdemeanor.
Okay, so if I'm chilling,
he's a good genie on this one.
If I'm chilling at home, I can't just wear gym shorts and no shirt. It has to be naked or in the furry suit with a gimp suit.
Yes.
Okay, now like if my lady walks in, do I have to be like, you can't see me without the gimp suit on?
Yes.
So I have to also present.
You cannot interact with another human being.
Okay. Give me a lot to think about here. Rob, you got any ideas?
Yep.
I would wear the furry suit because I'm cold all the time, so I'd be warm. And for real.
I mean, he likes cats.
Does he get to pick the furry suit, or does the genie pick the furry suit?
No, you get to pick it.
Now,
I got weird shapes. I got weird shapes, so a gimp suit wouldn't work for me because like I shaved my head once, and I have this like weird turtle shaped head. Like I do not go bald well, and my butt. I have a really tiny butt. It's not proportional. It's the smallest thing on my body. It just doesn't look right.
Is it though?
Yeah. So like the gimp suit would not work for me. I don't feel like.
So now gimp suit potentially is warmer though, because it's like we're talking about head to toe leather. We're talking about ball gag. We're talking about here.
I mean, you can pick and choose as well. I mean, like you can go to AdamandEve.com and pick out your greatest hits, but
and like the magic of the genie in this scenario. Well, like I can't like I'm like okay, I think this is gimpy enough, and like I'll be compelled to go more gimpy, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
Okay. God, I don't like being hot though in a furry suit. I think I can get some good like midriff like gimp suits, at least expose my stomach a little bit. Keep me kind of cool. Face being covered all the time. I think I can get away with like just a ball gag, and I think the genie would let me ride on that.
No. It's like head to toe, dog. Head to toe.
It's like a wetsuit.
Fuck. Okay. Do you think you'll let me go with just zipper mouth?
Yeah, you could go with that. Yeah.
Just zipper mouth? I'd do gimp suit.
You would.
Assless chaps and a midriff would keep me cool functionally.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And zipper mouth is also designed to be open, so I'm allowed to open it because there's a reason that there's a zipper there, because you got to open your mouth sometimes when you do some gimp shit. So I can also, so that's not bad. Yeah, I'd go gimp. I mean, I think I have a lot of this stuff anyway, so it'd be
I do not. I'll have to hit Amazon.
You don't have a full-size cat suit in your closet right now?
I don't.
I don't believe you.
I have some really fuzzy pajamas. Does this count?
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Head to toe, cat ears?
No, but I think they are like pretty much besides the face.
No, Linear Kenny in the chat's like, I mean, you don't have to leave the house. No, that's why like I'm going with Gimp suit for comfort. And I'm just never leaving the house again. Which is a call back to last week's Would You Rather.
The Grinch never comes down out of the mountain.
Like we're not streaming on Twitch anymore. We're streaming on other various hub websites.
Yeah.
Our tutorials are going to be different than they used to be.
I mean, you're still basically wearing gloves, right? I mean, they're just latex or leather.
I mean, I already wear those. Yeah, they're leather now.
Yeah,
well, I mean, some Gimp suits are latex. Oh, we'll see. I mean, I'm interested. That's a good one.
That was a good one. I like that.
You redeemed
Mine was
yourself.
a little easy though.
Hey, he's like, I get cold too much, furry.
Yeah, totally. Dude, it's been like 20 degrees in North Carolina for like a week. I've literally like...
You must have cranked the heater because you're only wearing 2 shirts.
Look, so I have sweatshirt right here. I'm holding up my hooded sweatshirt. I also have a blanket.
He literally has these things. He's holding them up.
And there's a space heater like 5 feet away from me.
Those are all just for your typing convenience?
For right here. Yeah, for right here.
I mean, that's like a winter, like Boomer's winter survival starter kit right there.
Yeah.
Look, I got the remote. Look.
For
got the remote to the heater.
Because he can't get up because he's under his blanket. So like he'd get
So everybody just watching what Rob did, that's called the Boomer Flex. So he's flexing on all the boomers who don't have clickers for their space heaters.
The Boomer Flex. Ooh, I
the
like
Boomer
that.
Flex.
Let me tell a quick Boomer story real quick. So we decided to participate in Christmas lights this year for our house, our apartment, which is on the corner and it kind of has 2 facings. So we're like, we have this like kind of big gate. So we're like, let's do that. And the first thing we agree on is like none of those stupid boomer lights from like when we were growing up that our dad would be all changing the light bulbs on and grumbling to himself and the circuit's incomplete because the light bulbs are burned out. Even as a kid, I was like, just throw it away and buy a new string. Like that's the cost of Christmas. Like you're crazy, right? So it's like none of those. So we found like LED light strings with a solar panel that you just plant in the grass that just get charged from the sun all day and then time on at night. And they just do that infinity, right? There's like $30 per string. So I got like 3 strings. And then we got looks like a strobe light, but what it does is it creates like a fake light show of snow coming down your house like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So I was out like $130 and got them all. I was like, sweet. Don't think anything of it. We get a FaceTime from Bonet's mom, and she's like, "Oh, Dad's upstairs untangling the lights and changing the light."
It's like, of course, like National Lampoon style.
Oh my God! I looked over at Bonet. She's like, "Don't you dare!" She's like, "Stop! Don't!" And I'm just like trying not to fucking laugh my fucking ass off.
The same string of lights he's had since like 1992, and half of it doesn't light up. He spent like $20 on it in 1992 and has refused to replace it since.
Yep. And I was like, oh my God.
To this day, there is still a tote in my mom's garage that has like 20 bundles of Christmas lights, half of which don't work. And we had to sort them every single time. And I was like, why don't we just go to Walmart and spend like $30 on new strings of lights? And she's like, these work perfectly fine. I'm like, these haven't worked since I was like 4 years old, Mom. Come on. She's like, nope, put them back in the tote.
Yes.
Keep them, we'll keep them for next time. All right.
Yeah, yep. All right. So let's flip it over to Tabletop Marketplace, aka Nerd Shit. Your term, not mine. I never said that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I literally said that.
So I'm gonna backpedal real quick because I know last week a lot of people were asking about the Necromunda, the new Zone Mortalis box, and I didn't have a lot of answers. And to be honest, I didn't really know what to think of it until I got in my hot little hands and we did the unboxing. We actually spent about 5 hours putting that damn thing together. And and doing a pretty in-depth, I like to think, video review of it, kind of showcasing all the stuff and talking about it. So long story short, if you're into Necromunda, you're into GW terrain and that's your thing, you're going to love this set. If you're not, you're just going to be like, why is it $290 probably? It's a very expensive set. Now, here's the couple of things that I wanted to kind of talk about why that price point was there. It came with 3 separate instruction sheets in it. So there's plasma conduits, thermic plasma conduits. You remember the thermic plasma conduits, right, Kenny? Our old favorites.
They are.
They just
galvanic plasma vents. I got one in my garage, dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what that lamp is behind you, right? That's got you one for Christmas last year.
That is actually my ode to Mothman. Don't covet another man's lamp. I'd appreciate you stopping looking at it.
Sorry.
So there's 17 sprues that come in this box of terrain, not counting the duders. So there's 17 sprues that come in this box. One is the barricades. One is the thermic plasma conduits. 2 barricades make up a barricade box. So you don't even get a full box of barricades, whatever. 15 other sprues. 11 of those sprues consist of a kit that looks to be called columns and walls for Necromunda. It comes with a separate instruction sheet. That kit is just your board with your walls, right? Like your little bulkheads, your columns, whatever, your hatches. The other kit is called platforms and stairs, which is your floors, your second story floors for your houses, and your stairs, your ladders, your chutes, all that stuff. That kit is like 4 sprues. So I'm thinking that the columns and wall set is going to end up being about $125 ish. And the platform and stairs set will probably end up being about $75 ish. Those numbers kind of start to jive. Then you add in a rule book. Then you add in the war bands, or the gangs rather. And then it kind of starts to make more sense, like why this thing was the price point it was. But really couldn't tell any of that until we got it in front of us. Now, if you're really into this stuff, you're going to be really into it. But the flooring tiles have sold out already on GW's site. So if you see them locally, you might want to pick them up if you're going to get the whole set, because they're probably going to be out of stock for a while.
I mean, like you always said, right? You got to spend money to save money.
Yeah. You gotta see, when it comes to GW, you gotta spend money to save money, and you also have to be an early bird adopter of all the stuff. But don't be a scalper, because there's people already scalping the sisters boxes on eBay for like $50.
Don't do it.
Games Workshop got their money.
Don't do it. It's totally wrong.
Come on.
I'm telling you, Games Workshop already got their money.
Wait, are you being serious, Rob?
Society.
Are you advising people not to make money?
No, I'm advising people. If you go to the store and you see the same dice set or the same whatever limited edition thing sitting there for a couple of weeks and nobody scoops it up, sure, buy it, stash it away, make some money off it. But don't day one just like buy all the shit off GW's site so other people can't, and then profit off it.
If Games Workshop didn't want people scalping shit, maybe they should stop releasing super limited quantities per region and just make it a full-on release so everybody has a chance to get one.
on this.
Games Workshop already got fucking paid for that plastic. Don't feel sorry for him.
Remember, Rob is the people's president. He is concerned for the people. Robbie B 2020. So he's looking out for the regular ass consumer that is like $290. I got to get paid. And then some other dude bought them all up. And now that dude doesn't get his boxes to go on eBay, right? So yeah, for sure. That sucks for that dude. And I acknowledge that you're trying to protect the little guy. Now, what I would advise you to do if I could be so bold is to enforce new policies on GW once you're president, that they can't do what they're doing with these limited releases and they got to just let us buy them. I mean, as hobby president, you get that power, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. But I think at the end of the day, GW's got a lot going on with their production and stuff. And they actually talked about it in the sisters post that they put up and then they took down and then they edited it and then they put it back up. And, good on them either way for addressing the issues. But long story short, they're having production issues and distribution issues. They're scaling at a reasonable level, which I think is safe for them. And it's, but they're having some growing pains. They're having some growing pains right now. But so that's why if you know you want something, buy it. That's all I'm saying for right now until they get their pipeline, their supply chain all tightened up and their distribution networks.
I'm going to read one comment because I normally don't read them. Mazok's hilarious. Says Rob is a proper politician. He's luring GW into a false sense of security before he hits them with the sanctions 5D chess, bro. That's right.
That is 100% true.
That is exactly what's going on. Hashtag Robbie B 2020.
Business is tough.
Gonna launch a fucking UN joint operation on their ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough life. Anyway, so getting back to this new round of releases, we kind of already know everything that's going to be coming out next week because everything's on pre-order right now. But going on pre-order next week, of course, will be Mephiston. It will be the new Balls Psychic Awakening book. Yep. And I guess the Battle Forces too should all be going out because those come out December 7th, according to the rumors.
Yeah.
Air quotes. So it's really interesting to me, and we talked about this in the webcast, is that literally the day that one Psychic Awakening book comes out, another one goes on pre-order, which is great for hype, but it's just like, it's kind of a lot to track. We don't super know.
If you don't play Blood Angels, probably don't need to buy this book. Just saying.
Yo, with nipple armor like that, I don't see how you can't play Blood Angels. So
I mean, I'll get a Mephiston because the model is fucking dope and I want to paint it, but I don't play Blood Angels, so I don't need to buy the book.
It's true. But there might be demon stuff in there. There might be Tyranids. They kind of alluded to Tyranids, but definitely maybe some Tyranid stuff. But there could be demons too. So I don't know. Could even be new Primera stuff because they got bailed out by the Avenging Sun and all his duders that made it across. Yep. So
Indomitus Crusade.
Yep. So that's pretty legit. But Sisters Battle box set will be out, of course. If you see it at the store and you weren't able to pre-order it, just scoop it up. But leave it there for somebody else that might not have been able to get that thing. And like I said, they're going for a lot on eBay right now, so kind of whack. But as far as releases go, we'll have the big Black Friday sales list that will go out. I think it's going to go out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then we'll put it out again on that Friday. Everybody's checking in that we emailed with their deals. There's a lot of deals happening. So be sure to check that one out.
A lot. Hashtag Robbie 2020.
Yep.
And that's all I have for Tabletop Market Watch.
That can't be all of it.
Look, that's all there is. It's just, they're slow rolling it.
Okay. All right, let's do a plug and then what's new in FAQ. So we talked about at the top of the show. There will be no show next week, which is the day before Thanksgiving in the United States. So that's a pretty big holiday. Everyone gets together with their family. And so we apologize. And then we also know that it's going to happen again in December. So we are going into that part of the year where content starts kind of trickling back a little bit. And then it opened the floodgates again in January. But for this month only, as Rob discussed, Black Friday is a thing. It's going to be Black Friday week. So this is the only month left this year. Like that's it. You only got 10 days. If you want to become a lifetime member of the longwar.net, get your free jersey, free hoodie, whatever you want, man. So that's longwar.net. Go up on there, hit the button, sign up. You'll be emailed with your own $35 store credit to get whatever you want. That's the plug. That's limited. The jersey's limited, but you can buy the jersey if you don't want to sign up for a long-term, membership. It's fine if you don't like our content, but you like our jerseys. Let's jump in.
We sold a few jerseys.
We have. I love them. Mm-hmm. I fucking love jerseys. I mean, I'm a fat guy, so I think fat guys love jerseys. So let's do it. What's new in the FAQ, the fucking 2.0?
We didn't decide on that name.
You said for the name of the episode. You didn't say I couldn't say it.
Yeah. That's the official branding of this event.
Yeah. So the fucking 1.0 obviously was the Iron Hands FAQ. Yep. They neutered the 5-up Invulnerable and the Iron Stone. And now Salamanders got hit hard.
Really hard.
With the nerf bat.
Yeah. I mean, there were some changes for Imperial Fists as well, but pretty small. I mean, like, the only real thing that's different for them is that successor chapters cannot take the Siegebreaker cohort, which is different. Like, a lot of people were playing successors because it's strong. They were taking that Siegebreaker cohort because it's strong. But now only Imperial Fist can do it. But let's talk about Salamanders.
Salamanders, obviously, since the day we got our hands on some of those juicy nugs.
Juiciest of nuggies. We have been talking about heroic sacrifice or self-sacrifice. What's it called?
Self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
So if you guys have been listening to the show for some time, you heard me before we talked about exactly what it was, refer to it as a Cloud of Flies aura. Now, if you're not familiar with Death Guard, they have a really good stratagem for 2 CP. You can play it on a Death Guard infantry unit, and they become untargetable unless they're the closest. They become basically a fake character. That's when Blight Lord Terminators started becoming really popular. It's a really strong stratagem. So self-sacrifice had a wording that made it an aura, where you could play it on an infantry unit. People chose a character because they were hidden anyway, and it gave you a 6-inch bubble of other infantry units being Cloud of Flied. So we talked about it in a episode recently. We talked about the most powerful Space Marine combos, and that's what we talked about with Flamestorm Aggressors and even your whole fucking army. I brought back Devastators in my Salamander list because I can keep 3 last cannon Devastator squads and 2 units of Aggressors completely invisible for 2 turns, and then on the 3rd turn deploy the Wombo combo. It's incredible. It's so strong. But GW has shown that they don't like these non-engageable styles of play, which they shouldn't because they suck. They nerfed how many Dreadnoughts could become a character in the last fucking to limited it to 1, so you couldn't make 9 Dreadnought untargetable army. They changed the way Demon Princes work, so you couldn't take potentially 10. They made it so you could only take 3, so you couldn't do the Nurgling disallowed engagement there. And of course, we all knew they were going to nerf this. It was a foregone conclusion. We had theories, though. Theory 1 can't be played on a character. Okay, that's fine. That's reasonable. Theory 2. Okay, maybe it can be played on a character, but only affects units entirely within 6. Changes it dramatically. Okay, maybe they do both. Maybe they say it can't be played on a character and entirely within 6. Okay, cool. So all of those, it's workable. It's not as exploitable. It takes a little bit more, manipulating placement, deployment, movement to make those work. Maybe sometimes a little luck. We also talked about how, maybe one of the classiest ways to FAQ this is to literally just make it copy and paste Cloud of Flies. The same wording. So it's just 2 CPs played on a unit, and in the fluff section of the stratagem, you put in there the other Salamander people heroically intervene and make this possible for you. That, in my opinion, would be the cleanest. Just 1 unit, 1 and done, 2 CPs. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever predict the level of nerf and the length and girth of text required to nerf it in their mind. Somebody got this thing open so we could read it?
Yeah, I do. I got it.
Please read it.
All right. Self-sacrifice. Change this stratagem to read. Use this stratagem at the start of your opponent's shooting phase. Select 1 Salamander's infantry unit that contains 5 or more models from your army that is not within 1 inch of any enemy units, and then select 1 other infantry unit from your army that is wholly within 6 inches of the selected unit. Until the end of the phase, your opponent cannot target the second unit you selected unless that unit is the closest enemy unit to the firing model and visible to it, or it is no longer wholly within 6 inches of the first unit you selected. In addition, until the end of that phase, the first unit you selected is always an eligible target for enemy shooting attacks, provided it is within range and is visible to the firing model. i.e. it can be targeted even whilst under the effects of any rules that would prevent it from being targeted, such as the shrouding psychic power.
So I counted 4 nerfs. And you're out of breath.
Yeah, that was stupid. There's a lot. 4
nerfs. First 2 were changing it off of character and also putting a limiter to the squad size. It has to be 5 or more models, which means it can't be a character. Nerf 1. Has to be 5 or more models. Nerf 2. The reason that's a nerf is because my forethought was 3-man eliminator squads would be perfect for self-sacrifice because they're easier to hide and they get really good cover saves. Well, that's off the table. So that's a double nerf. They also,
depending on
they are correct. They're also hard to get to. And you have a few. They're really good in many ways. And so the next nerf was changing it to wholly within 6. And the final nerf was 1 unit. They did literally everything plus some. That's a 4-piece chicken nugget right there.
It's pretty brutal.
And here's the worst part. It's still 2 CPs.
Yeah.
Not worth it. But I would like to add that if you built your aggressors with magnets, you're not locked into those builds. You future-proofed. True story.
Yep. I still hold out that GW listens to the show, and I think they get a lot of inspiration on these things. More hilariously on a commentary element here, on a more of editorial, I was triggered like a mofo by their designer notes. God damn it. Like, why can't you just say, sorry, we fucked up? They hit you with like, sorry, we fucked up, but, rules is written, quotation marks. You could do things we didn't intend, quotation marks. Like, bro, anybody who is this competitive or above read that with no playtesting and knew it was OP. Should never have been written that way, right? It wasn't about rules as written quotation marks. It was written that fucking way because you wrote it that way. So just say you're sorry and move on. Don't also hit me with all the shit. And then they use the phrase, nefarious combinations, or what they say, like
fiendish
combinations. Like, get out of here.
Man, fuck you, Games Workshop. I know you're listening to this. Straight up, fuck you.
Don't blame us. Like, we read your rules. We play tested them for you. Just call somebody, man.
Dude, like, for real. Like, if you don't want people taking advantage of aura-based abilities from stratagems, stop fucking writing stratagems with aura-based abilities. Just stop doing it, because there's so many they've had to change and walk back because they never intended it to be that way, that this is just like adding to this pile of FAQs they have to keep putting out. And it's like, man, come on.
And they FAQs. Like, they had they FAQ'd fly and then un-FAQ'd it. You know what I mean? Like, because that was a knee jerk. So and I'm praying, GW, man, like, for real. You need to un-FAQ this a little bit. You're talking about salamanders, narratively, the flamer guys, narratively, the self-sacrifices, narratively, boots on the ground defenders, narratively. You just made their whole thing not easy to do and almost impossible. I'm not saying you can't win with salamanders. First off, they're very strong. They're Space Marines. They still have all the doctrines. They still have access to great stratagems. They can be played well and still win. That is not the case. You didn't make them unplayable. You made what makes them salamanders not good. And also, caveat, you've been crushing at GW with your FAQs. You've been very classy. So this isn't a standard like, oh, class GW fucked it up with FAQ. No, you guys been crushing it. This was bad. This is bad. You got to call it out. I suggest put that whole narrative block of text in there that you wrote in designer notes in the top part of the stratagem and just copy and paste Cloud of Flies, because I can support that with Alpha Legion. They just came out. We're going to cover Chaos in a minute. Alpha Legion has a stratagem called Conceal, which is literally copy and paste Cloud of Flies. You are willing to copy and paste stratagems right now. Copy and paste that over to Self-Sacrifice. Put the text block above it. Let us know the flavor of salamanders. It is fixed. You pay the CP. It applies to 1 unit, like Wyatt said. Stop with the auras on CP, on stratagems. That's not like that. That always gets you in the trouble. But great job. Positive, negative, positive. Great job. Games is the best place. I've had more fun playing 40K this year than I've ever had in the 20 years I've been playing the game. It's killer. It's just sad to see this kind of knee-jerk reaction, and disappointing to see a designer note that can't just 100% own their mistakes. That doesn't make me feel good.
I agree with what you said there too. Yeah, I didn't like the tone. I think it was a little tone deaf. But I do want to point out that, not to take anything away from the playtesters the 20 or 30 people, because they said in the Iron Hands one, like, oh yeah, we were told this might not be such a good idea, but we did it anyways. And, and yes or no, the internet's always going to take, you do this, we wanted this. You do that, we wanted that, whatever. I get it. But at the end of the day, they're kind of cheaping their playtesting by kind of relying very heavily on the competitive scene to kind of beta playtest things for them. It's worked out. We're in a good spot right now, but we weren't a year ago. It's very weird. And now here we are, and we're having all these weird interactions with recent books. So I'm hoping that this kind of settles down and the books going forward, we have a little bit more smooth sailing, because I feel like with the gains that they're making, we're paying, I guess the best way to put it is, we're paying a premium price. We should get a premium product. And that's just my point right there.
Hashtag Robbie B 2020. Well said. There's a luxury goods, man. Give me the luxury service. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? To be perfectly honest, I feel like Games Workshop could roll out with a program similar to what other companies do. I like to draw parallels with Game Balance to Riot a lot, because they do a really good job with their League of Legends content and balancing throughout the season. Man, like, do you know how many people would willingly sign up to play test this game for free in a quote unquote like public test server type environment?
Yeah, umbrella like NDA.
Games Workshop, you could roll out, no, not even make it an NDA. Just make it like a beta testing program that people can sign up for, where you were like, okay, this is going to the beta test program. If you sign up, with
they
our
fill
program,
out like an
you have to give us
application.
updates. Yeah. Things like that, right? It's like it costs you basically no money. And yeah, people get to know kind of what is cooking in the oven a little bit before it's released. But at the very least, you can release a book that you don't have to FAQ 2 weeks after release. And you don't have to create this like scenario of constantly having to walk back these rules combos that you obviously didn't intend. Like, they need to start doing something like that, because like there's so many people that just, we all want our spicy rules for our most beloved factions and everything. But you know what else we want? We want game balance that's real. And we also want to stop having to buy in books that are going to be invalidated right after we buy them.
There's a couple good points in chat where, which whether it's true or not, GW, and I've always suspected it, GW might be guilty of occasionally OPing it up, a little OP-ness on top. To sell some models and then rein it back. We know it's happened. Now, I don't know if that is their agenda these days, but GW, if it is, I assure you that providing a superior product, more balanced up front, more polished up front, more accessible up front, will make you more money. Like, use Riot. Use Riot as your example.
Yeah. I mean, they need to get out of this archaic thing of like not letting anybody in on what they're doing until 2 weeks before it's on the shelf. Like, that is so fucking outdated in this day. And I mean, like, yeah, they probably won't, but they really should. Like, they need to have something of a public test environment for these new books, or they're just going to keep getting criticized, and it's going to be bad for the game. And they have to change up something.
We know they can do what you guys just said, because they basically did that with the Marine Codex, with the stuff that's going to be in the next Psychic Awakening book, the Faith and Fury book, with all like the super characters. So you can start with this really nice foundation and this really, like, we'll call it basic bitch for lack of a better term, even though there really isn't much in the Space Marine Codex with basic bitch. But then you can build through these expansion books on, and you can add to it, right? So there's actually a way to do that, and they're already doing it. So like, just do that better. Just do it better.
The most successful companies in the world are the ones who are obsessed with providing convenience to their customers, not always what's the most.
Like there's a reason that Riot makes more money than God with a free to play game, right? And it's not pay to win. Like they just buy skins and shit. Like people love the game because of the quality of the game, and they still make tons of money.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like
in America, at least like for me, like when I went to college and stuff, like that was what was ran down my throat is like, if you go into business, try to provide convenience to your customer before anything else. And like, I just remember always thinking like, damn, and like how you can cut your nose off to spite your face if you're always looking for the next big push, versus like, okay, how do I make my people happy and truly feel like, so I feel like if you work that angle, and it could be scary, it'd work out for you, GW, because you do make the best miniatures on the planet. It is the best. Every time I think about going to another game system and I just hold their models in my hand and I get sad, like I'm like, this isn't what I want, like, so you're already so good. So good. And you've been doing a great job. I don't want to hurt your feelings. You're doing a great job. So the fucking 2.0 salamanders. Sorry, my brother David just put all the salamanders back in the drawer. He's very sad. I mean, he said he did. I don't even know if they ever left the drawer, but like, so we've got another segment here called Kenny's Chaos Tendies.
The juiciest of tendies.
Like warm nugs.
Or warm nugs.
Are they from Warp Donald's?
Warp Donald's. Nice. God. Wyatt in charge with the
He's got the one-liner.
He does have the zingers. He does have the good ones. All right, so guys, Chaos is here. And there's a lot of people online posting hilarious memes that I do laugh at, about, Chaos players are happy, but should they be? Space Marine is so good. Yeah. Just because Space Marines are good doesn't mean you shouldn't be happy about this amazing set of rules. How spicy some of this Legion stuff is looking. So we're not going to read them all to you. You actually can go to spikybits.com. There's a post up there. That has all the pictures, everything you need, every little nugget that you need inside of you right now. So I'm just going to cover the juicy ones for me. There's a lot of good ones, and I will throw a little bit of words on top. We'll start with Emperor's Children. They've been very spicy. They've been very talked about. Without reading every warlord trait and relic and stratagem, I'll say this. They have incredible combos that can be applied to characters to make some of the strongest and most reliable and powerful Chaos Lords in Chaos lineup at all. So there's a lot going on there. I'm going to gloss over that for now, but just I'm aware. And if you aren't, that's really powerful. And I'm going to pull out some of my favorite stratagems. And I'm going to start with, on that subject, Incessant Disdain, which is use this at any of your opponent's charge phase. Select one Emperor's Children character. That model can perform a 6-inch heroic intervention. I wanted to bring that up because that is a stratagem, not a relic or warlord trait. A lot of people who have a rule like that have to burn an entire power slot on their person to do it. And you kind of know that's what that guy can do. This is a CP, which means if you have two smashers, any one of them, and it doesn't take away a powerful warlord trait and or relic. It's very powerful for that combo. 6-inch heroic interventions, real good. Honor the Prince. This is me and Wyatt. It's one of our favorites. Use this in the charge phase after making a charge roll. The Emperor's Children unit, you can change the result of one of the dice, one of the D6 you roll to a straight 6.
It's really good. I like being able to guarantee charges. I'm not
even sure there's any other mechanic like it out there.
It is really cool because like 6 is also their number, so that's really cool, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of power there. I mean, like literally the lowest you can roll now for 1 CP is a 7. That is, God, that's clutch. God, that's clutch. We've got excruciating frequencies. This is what's got the internet's, okay, so let me not be crude. This is what's got their penises erect.
Yeah.
You could have said they're competitive pickles tickled.
Competitive. God, you're so old. Use this in your shooting phase for Noise Marines. It's only 1 CPs according to this. Literally, this is how it goes down. +1 strength, +1 damage, Blastmaster, Sonic Blast, and Doom Siren. Bruh. Talking about 20 block of Noise Marines with Veterans of the Long War and Endless Cacophonies. And for you non-chaos people out there, what I'm talking about is shoot twice +1 to wound. And now more strength and damage. That is a brutal unit that can put out some serious hurt. Love it. They've got another one I like here called Tactical Perfection. Use this at the start of the battle round. Select one one Emperor's Children unit to redeploy. So they've got a 1 CP redeploy. Those are thugnificent, especially when you're talking about this Emperor's Children Noise Marine unit that you really need to put them in the right spot and you can redeploy them. Oh, God. And of course, I need to jump into relics just for 1 second. They have a no Overwatch relic. So when we're talking about characters that get in there and put the boots to you, that's always one of the most important things, is to not get shot to death while you're doing it. I believe everyone can agree with me on that.
I do agree.
So this is for Robbie B. This is to get his competitive tickled. Tickled.
I think you said it right.
Guys, sorry. This is Iron Warriors.
Yeah.
And this is Rob's favorite. And he has had a beautiful hand-painted Iron Warriors army from 3rd edition in his closet. I've seen it. I've touched the models.
What's their motto? Like boomer within, boomer without?
Yep.
That's probably why I like them so much.
Here we go. This is a really important warlord trait. Iron Warrior units within 6 inches do not suffer penalties for moving and firing heavy weapons. Real strong for this type of army. Love it. So off of warlord traits, there's a lot of good ones, but that one, oof. We've got 1 CP, Methodical Annihilation. In the shooting phase, select an Iron Warriors unit to shoot, and then select one of the following effects. And they use bullets here. Rob pointed out to me.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn it. Thank you, GW. Reroll damage and reroll the number of dice when determining your shots. That's really powerful. I can see things like a goddamn Devastator squad mattering right there. That's super strong. 1 CP, guys. We've got another amazing one, Unholy Vigor. Use this strat to begin the movement phase. Select an Iron Warriors vehicle. This is the obligatory. Heals 3 wounds. Finally, they can do that. Makes me super happy. That matters because you're going to have a lot of units, a lot of vehicles, a lot of things with demon engine rules that already heal a wound every turn. So now you're saying for 1 CP, this thing healed 4 wounds. Real good. We've got 1 CP Tank Hunters. Use a stratagem in the shooting or fight phase. This is not for cultists. When it shoots or fights, select an enemy vehicle and you can reroll wounds with the Iron Warrior unit against that vehicle. That is really strong for 1 CP, especially when comboed with the next unit we're going to talk about. Rampant Techno Virus, 1 CP. God, the return on the CP. Use this in the shooting or fight phase. This is for obliterators and mutilators. It lets you reroll any or all of the D3s when determining the flesh metal guns or weapons. So that's one CP for 3 the price of 3 rerolls for the price of 1. You can also stack that with the Tank Hunters. Obviously, Endless Cacophony is still on the table because all obliterators are Slanesh all the time. And +1 to wound because Veterans of the Long War. This obliterator unit fucks. But Rob, how do you keep this Iron Warrior obliterator unit alive? I mean, aren't they just going to shoot it off the table?
I mean, they could, but you got Gretchen.
You got Gretchen. We have a 2 CP.
Big news. We actually got Gretchen in our codex. This is huge.
Huge.
What a crossover. This is a merger of Disney Fox proportions.
Cannon fodder. God damn it. This is good. Use your strategy at the start of your opponent's shooting phase. Select an Iron Warrior infantry unit and 1 cultist unit wholly within 6 inches. So that sucks. It's wholly. But let me tell you what you can do with 20 cultists wrapped around 1 obliterator unit. I've measured it out. If it's. So you've got this 20 cultists wrapped around your 3 obliterators. And they're within 6 inches. Until the end of the phase, enemy models cannot target the Iron Warrior infantry unit they selected. They have to, if the Iron Warrior's cultists are visible. Sorry, that's weirdly worded GW. So, booyah. Love it. You can even like kind of preemptively move your cultists around in donuts and then deep strike right inside of one. You see what I'm saying? Which I love. That's movement phase 101 right there. Bitter Enmity, use this in a fight phase. Select one Iron Warriors unit that you fight with to reroll all hits and wounds against Imperial Fist. Now, normally these suck and these are dumb, but why is this not dumb?
Yeah. It's not dumb because tons of people are playing Space Marines, and successor chapters for all stratagem purposes have the same keyword as their first founding chapters. So if it's keyword Imperial Fists, then even if your opponent is playing like successor Imperial Fists with Mastercrafted and Stealthy, you still get your bonuses.
Fuck yes. Word bearers.
You see a lot of Imperial Fist players out there.
Yeah, at least two.
So there's lots of other good ones. You know, like I said, this is the Juicy Nugs, Warm Nugs, Word bearers. Now, word bearers are amazing. They have so many buff abilities here, so many cool things. They don't have the same outward power, but they have an incredible psychic power that a lot of people have been talking about. Malevolent Covenant. Psychic phase. If the word bearer psyker fails this test, he auto passes it. It can't be denied, and he takes a single mortal wound. A lot of people outwardly look at the most obvious combo for warp time, where you have an unfailable warp time. Real good, for sure. But when I look at the word bearers, and I look at some of their space stratagems, and I look at some of the things they're able to do, demonic ritual comes to mind. Reinforcement points. Every word bearers list I have in my battle scribe right now is about 420 points in reinforcements. So that way I can have a collection of demons for every task. That's usually about 60 base demons or other various combinations. And with things like the Master of Possessions, he has a Warp Charge 7.
You said it wrong.
Master of Possession?
Keep going.
He has a Warp Charge 7 power that allows you to do a demonic ritual in the psychic phase. So he can technically, move, advance, drop the hammer. Warp Charge 7 fails a lot, and he gives you a better roll. So there's a lot more reliable ways to do demonic ritual.
Okay, I have a question. So does for the summoning of the demons, does the power level of what you're summoning have anything to do with that roll?
No,
or is it all points based?
Well, yes, the power. It's all about power level. So
okay,
that's where it gets dicey. So like what you do is you say, I'm going to do the ritual. You roll the dice. You add the number together. That's power level, and then you look to see what you want to bring in at that power level. So a lot of people have it in mind. I'm going to bring all these demons in, but they're a big power level for big units. You got to roll big numbers. The psychic power lets you get a bigger number. There's other ways to manipulate it, and so when you're going this route, you want more reliability. And that's where I see Malevolent Covenant really giving you that reliability.
Okay. All right. So my question is is it a separate roll or is the number you roll in the psychic test the power level?
Psychic test is this one way of doing demonic ritual. So you have to roll the test, then you do the demonic ritual.
Okay. So and the demonic ritual is the power level roll.
Traditionally 3 dice, and I believe he unlocks a 4th.
Okay.
So there's a lot there. Love it. That's where I like it. Mm-hmm. This is another really interesting and secretly powerful stratagem. Now, there's a lot of good ones, but this one, 2 CPs, curse the spoilers, use after deployment, but before the first battle round. And as long as you have a word bearer unit at the table, select a piece of terrain other than a fortification. It cannot be used for cover.
Yep. This is a really spicy one. I really like this.
Real good. God, I mean, there's we've talked about it. Engineers are popular. There's multiple ways to get indirect fire. I think Helldrakes sneak into the back. You don't get cover. Love it. Take away their favorite piece of terrain and say no. And of course, they have the old Vengeance of Monarchia, which is the same thing as previously stated. This gives you the full rerolls versus Ultramarines. in a 5 phase. And for the same reasons that Wyatt already broke down, that suddenly matters for 1 CP.
Yeah. I mean, that is like a really awesome 1 CP damage buff if you get matched against somebody playing Ultramarines, which there are quite a few of.
Probably going to be a bunch, yep.
Yep.
Yes, facts. So last but not least for Word Bearers is a relic I don't want to talk about. They have a cool chain axe that makes it really good. Obviously, that's cool, but it also makes it so people can't fall back. Unless, of course, you're a vehicle, Titanic, or have a minimum move characteristic. So you can jam your buff character into a place, and make them live there, and their screen can't fall back. That is truly powerful. Fucking love it. Night Lords. God damn it. I love them all. Now, Wyatt agrees with me. Night Lords is probably one of the most popular chaos
They're
legions.
getting a lot of people there's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of buzz.
They are metal AF.
Oh, yeah.
Night Lords looking fresh because they have a lot of character buffing similar to Raven Guard. They've got a lot of that good stuff, right? Like they've got some beat down character opportunities here. But again, we're going to focus on some of the juiciest stratagems. First and foremost, 1 CP, Prey on the Weak. You can use this in the shooting or 5 phase. Select a Night Lord unit. It's at the end of the shooting or 5 phase when targeting you with lower leadership characteristic, +1 hit rolls. That's really easy to do with certain units. +1 to hits for 1 CP, real good. Okay. They have a 1 CP hit and run. It's all in the title. Literally, they can charge even if they fell back. It's getting spicier and spicier. These are some of the best rules I've ever read. They have another 1 CP'er from the Night. Used at the start of the charge phase, select the Night Lord infantry unit in terrain until the end of the turn. Add 2 to their charge rolls and +1 to hit in combat. And of course, there is a Raptor Strike one, people's pickles are tickled on. It's a 3d6 charge for jump pack units. Now that's really good. And a lot of people want to stack all this stuff together, but let me tell you real quick. I was talking to Don Husen. By talking to him, I mean, I read an article by him, got to thinking. And I do talk to him a lot. It's just not this time. I saw the wisdom in his post instantly. Look, Night Lord Terminators, go with me on it. Way better than the jump packs. You could deep strike them in, right into cover, 9 inches away from the enemy. You've got like 40 Stormbolter shots or Kami Bolter shots and maybe like 4 Kami Meltas, right? Veterans of the Long War, +1 to wound. Endless Cacophony because they're Slanesh. So they can shoot twice, +1 to wound. For 1 CP, they are probably higher leadership, +1 to hit. So you're already hitting on 2s. Already hitting on 2s without doing anything, right? And that is shoot twice. That's 80 shots. Or some shit like that, I think. Right? It's 4 per guy.
Gut math is the best math.
It's brutal. So they can, and I've done it before with Black Legion where literally like you get into the perfect spot and you're like, Meltas clear this tank, Meltas clear that tank, dump all the shots here, clear that unit. I just killed 3 things. I'm 9 inches away from this thing I want to charge. Oh, I'm in cover. How did that happen? Let me just add 2 to the charge roll. Now I have a 7-inch charge. Got a clutch built-in reroll because 1 CP reroll. Make the charge, +1 to hit in close combat. And if they're Imperial, play the other stratagem again, +2 to hit in close combat. Death to the False Emperor goes off on a 4. Clear the unit. Consolidate. Get tight. Good to go. Fall back. 1 CP. Hit and run. Charge again. I think that the Night Lords, sorry, God, so many legions. I think the Night Lords Terminators are going to be the spiciest way to play that series of stratagems, well above the jump pack units.
Well, I mean, those models are dope, first off. So scoop them up from Forge World, if that's your thing.
Yes. I've got a block of 10 painted black that are just suddenly now just painted black Night Lords. Alpha Legions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alpha Legions might be the coolest, neatest set of rules and fluff. They've got, we talked about it earlier about, the fucking 2.0. 2 CP conceal. Use this stratagem in the opponent's shooting phase, like an Alpha Legion infantry unit cannot be targeted unless it's a close visible target. Wow! There it is. Concealed obliterators. All that other shit we were trying to do, there it is. You can deep strike your obliterators in, conceal them, do all the things that obliterators like to do, like shoot twice, +1 to wound, and then not get shot. There it is. God damn it. They've got a lot of neat ones, a lot of cool ones, but they also have resonant, renascent. God, what is this? Renascent infiltration. We're just going with infiltration. Use this at the end of the movement phase. Select an Alpha Legion unit more than 3 inches from enemy models. Cannot select a unit that has arrived to reserves or move that unit and send them up more than 9 inches from the enemies. So, God damn it. That's powerful. I'm kind of thinking that Obliterator's got a couple of stacks here. You know what I'm saying? They also have, of course, from the Codex, Forward Operator, which got nerfed, but it lets you move before the game. So there's a lot of play here. I used to run Alpha Legion Obliterators to great success. It's great to see them this powerful still. Ambush, use in the opponent's movement phase. After your opponent has set up reinforcements, select one Alpha Legion unit from your army. Within 18 inches, they can shoot that unit as if it were your shooting phase. So
pretty
solid. Feigned retreat. This is basically the same thing, but for shooting as Night Lords. Use this in the movement phase. Select an Alpha Legion unit. They can shoot even if they fell back. Whew. Lots of juicy ones here. They brought back the Mind Veil. This is a great one. This is actually a relic. Start of the movement phase. While on the battlefield, roll 3d6 until the end of the phase. That model has the movement characteristic of the results and can move over models as if they weren't there in the movement and charge phase.
It's kind of like the jump pack, the fly bike. Sort of.
Yeah, but things are invisible. This model can charge after it fell back also. So like the Mind Veil was something I used like crazy back in the day. I love it. Hydra's Whale. This is another good one. Once per battle at the start of the turn. For the remainder of the turn, when your opponent uses a stratagem, roll a d6 and a 4+. The opponent must spend an additional CP to use the stratagem or has no effect. So there's a lot of spice in the Alpha Legions. And one thing I was talking about, Wyatt, he used to love his Alpha Legion Berserkers, because they used to set up 9 inches away and God damn it, that was powerful. That got changed. But hey, with Conceal and even the nerfed Forward Operators, and even this like take the infantry model up and set it up against, they're back.
Well, hopefully everybody didn't sell their models off.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure that the rules still let you do the leave your deployment zone if you're already set up with a stratagem, right? Like you can teleport a unit if it was already on the table, right? Like that was the whole FAQing, right? Like with the jump and everything.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, you can just do that on turn one and just be like, here I am.
Well, for now, but always got to look to the future.
Oh no, man, that sounds like a pretty fiendish combination. I don't expect to be able to use that for very long if our passive aggressive girlfriend over here has anything to say about it.
Or boyfriend.
We don't want to make generalizations.
Get woke.
I mean, I had to have at least one sweeping generalization.
That's true. Wow. Just crossing all the streams.
So how do you feel about chaos, guys?
Pretty strong.
OP, please, nerd.
They got some really good spicy stuff that I think is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna bring them in line with Space Marines, but it definitely gave them a lot of tools to deal with a lot of the new Space Marines. And like Chaos hasn't gone anywhere.
No,
like Chaos is still very consistently strong. I mean, like Kenny's been playing them to great success this season. And even at SoCal, which was the first time he had to face the new hot Space Marines, like he still went 5-1, did really well.
They, I think here's the thing. They're never going to be the same level as Space Marines until they get a Chaos 2.0 their 3.0 codex.
Yeah,
because,
check yourself.
Yeah,
we have one.
Oh shit. So there's that to look forward to. But if they keep putting out all of these Psychic Awakening books, we're just going to see the codexes get updated and recycled. It's exactly what I talked about 3 years ago when they came out with these books. When I'm like, well, when they're done with codexes, they'll just have to do campaign books and keep them coming. And that's what they're going to do. And then they're going to roll out the 2.0. We'll probably never see a new air quotes rule set, but then that's fine because that is what's working for GW. At the end of the day, you do what's working for you. And you just keep pounding it, to borrow a football
Did you say keep pounding it?
Yes. Just keep pounding it.
I can live my life. Hashtag Robbie B 2020. Keep pounding it.
Just keep pounding it. Anyways, but, I think at the end of the day, it's like the weather, man.
Stop being so fucking political. Are you hype on your Iron Warriors?
I appreciate the new rules they got, and I don't know if I will play them because I don't get a lot of chances to play. So when I play, I want to play what I'm feeling, what's got my feels of, and what's tickling my hobby pickle at the time. And right now, it's not Iron Warriors, but in the future, it could be. You just never know.
Or that you get. I mean, if you weren't pickle deep in Imperium, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be Iron Warriors and up.
And Wyatt, I mean, he's also balls deep in Imperium. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't like literally halfway through building this entirely brand new Space Marine brigade that I'm very hype on, I would probably be like, ooh, like this, it's like Alpha Legion Berserkers, and it's pretty spicy.
God, I'm ready to go for that Nightlight Terminator squad. It might make it into my army for LVO.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Like, I believe in it. And I'm gonna go hard. 2 of them, 20 of them, like straight up.
Yeah.
Turn 2.
Better paint them though. Better paint them. Don't be a fucking hobo.
Don't commission shame me.
I'm going to, because like you're such a good painter. You need to have more units in your army that you paint.
Got
it's tough. Shoemaker shoes.
I mean, I'm just saying that, like, based on seniority of painting careers, you should outrank me in the ITC hobby score. And the fact that you're like not even ranked and I'm in the top 100, it's kind of embarrassing. You should feel embarrassed.
Wow.
I'll talk to my therapist about that.
I'm gonna shame you into painting. Come on, just paint like 20 Terminators. It's not that hard.
But I have to build them too.
Oh my god.
So horrible.
I just had to build an entire brigade of Primaris Marines when an Intercessor has like 10 different pieces, and you only have to build like 10 Terminators that are way easier to put together.
Fair point. I'm stoked. There's a lot of hyphiness here. If you play Chaos, be happy. Don't listen to the discordant forces of the internet trying to hit you with like this bullshit. Trust me, it's not bullshit. It's real good.
The vocal minority.
We have a fun little betting game here on the Long War where if we see somebody who thinks that Chaos is bad, they don't know how to play Chaos.
Get good.
So if you see somebody out there like, Chaos Space Marine is so bad, Chaos is one of the worst factions, like just know that they don't know what they're talking about. Chaos is super strong.
They have yet to make the competitive hurdle. But that's it. I think we did it, Rob.
Well, Haspil is still on vacation, so you're stuck with me.
Like he's down there in the Shire. And I don't know if he'll ever come back. I mean,
has he been
so happy?
Those pictures on Facebook? Oh no.
I don't think he has. He's been pretty like he was saying like that the data charges to be on Facebook and stuff is like so much that he's been giving us like little tidbits of his trip.
Well, the stuff he sent me definitely wouldn't be approved for Facebook general posts. The stuff he's been doing at the Shire, at least the stuff he texts me. I couldn't see. It's some weird shit he's been doing.
He's into that.
He's getting like deep into the Hobbit lifestyle.
He's doing some Hobbit stuff.
He's tickling his Hobbit pickle. Anyways, so that's it for this one. Make sure to head on over to thelongwar.net for for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. We need beer money.